up, y'all? It's Young Rick with Westside Level, and we're back at it. Today, our lesson is keyboard bus compression. Now, before we actually get into it, I actually want to address two things. The first thing, if I play our melody, you'll notice that there's a synth bass in there. I'll play it real quick just to demonstrate that. All right. And some might ask, why didn't I route the synth bass to the bass bus where the 808 was? Well, for this particular mix, I didn't want to do that because I wanted the 808 to sit on top of all of our keyboard instruments, even our synthesized bass. Now, there are some mixes in some cases where I would route the synth bass and the 808 together, but for this session, we're going to go ahead and route it with our keyboards. So I just wanted to address that to let you know that in some cases I go back and forth. Sometimes I have the synth bass in the keyboard bus. Sometimes I have the synth bass in the bass bus. So I just want to address that. Now, the next thing I wanted to address with this is, and the reason why I brought up this compressor, which is our Universal Audio LA2 compressor, not to be confused with the LA2A. The reason I brought this compressor up is because it's going to give our keyboard bus glue. Now, what is glue? In simple terms, all glue is when we have multiple instruments and they have dynamics. Some of the instruments are louder than the others. In this case, our synth bass is our loudest instrument. We're going to use our compressor to turn down that loudest instrument, but what it's also going to do is bring up those lower level instruments, in this case, which would be our chord progression, our arpeggios and our beats and everything. So as we compress our synth bass, it's going to bring up the level of our keys and our other synthesizers. So, and that effect is called glue. And one of the best compressors to give us glue is the LA2 compressor. And the reason being is because it's program dependent. So all we really have to do when dealing with this compressor is pay attention to our peak reduction meter and peak reduction knob, and this meter in our dB leveling meter, which right here will tell us how much we are leveling. So now that we kind of got a basic explanation and a rant out of the way, so next, again, like how I said, let's go ahead and turn our attention on this peak reduction knob. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and drive it to the right until we see this needle start getting some reduction. And what I want to pay attention to with my needle right here on this meter is I want to make sure it's only affecting or reacting, our compressor's only reacting to our synth bass. I don't want to bring our peak reduction down so far that it starts reacting to our chord progressions or our arpeggios. So let's go ahead and try to accomplish that. All right, so I got our compressor set around to where we're getting around about 2 dB of gain reduction. But in this case, I'm not necessarily looking at the amount of dB of gain reduction. I'm looking at that needle and seeing what it's reacting to. So you'll notice that it reacts to the bass, but as soon as the bass drops after that after that it drops, then you'll notice the needle starts to release and go back up to original level. But as soon as the bass comes back in, the needle will react to it. So I'm gonna play it back and look and listen for that. And it's such a, I love the way this effects makes I also like to, and this is something to listen for too, is how the keyboards and the chord progressions just kind of come up in a smooth way. The level of them just kind of comes up in a smooth way after that gain reduction hit from the bass. So I love the effect of that sound, and this whole effect together is called glue. One thing I forgot to do is gain stage it up using this gain stage knob. So I'm going to go ahead and level and gain stage it up real quick, and then we'll do another before and after. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, perfect. So now that I got that gain stage, let's do a final and last before and after. Here's before our compression. Here's after our compression. So as you can see, that compression brought our keyboard bus to life. So we're already moving in the right direction with our keyboard instruments. The next, that's gonna go ahead and be the lesson for today. In our next lesson, we're gonna go ahead and get into some keyboard bus EQ. All right, this Westside level. I'm Young Rick. Y'all niggas be smooth. I'm out. Gone.